So I was browsing YouTube, this was maybe a month and a half ago. I was starting a new playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, and as such decided to take a look at some footage, neat ideas, and general YouTube videos of the game. It seems that there was some algorithm that probably saw Baldur's Gate and tied it to elves, and decided to match me with this ad. And I don't know, just want to talk about this, because this kind of started a silly little trend of perusing through these silly and honestly dumb looking ads. I'm just go do an ad review. First off, this looks shit. The title of a fantasy RPG game kind of says nothing. And, you know, mobile game companies love using the word RPG for things that don't have the tiniest relation to anything RPG. But wait, there's more. Because fantasy RPG game leads us to tempting adventures, enticing collection. What does the ad do? Is there anything that the ad makes you think except hot elf chick? And yeah, this AI drew the elf chick pretty well. And it's only down in the link that the name of the game is even mentioned. I quickly googled the game, looked at about 15 to 20 seconds of footage because I don't think it deserves any more than that. And yeah, it's a generic shitty gacha game. Absolutely lovely. It's just a generic shitty cash grab gacha game that tries to lure you in with images of scantily clad elven women. As of yet. But that ultimately looks nothing like the advertisement. And it also has no RPG elements at all. It's a fucking gacha game. Anyway, I thought this ad was interesting, a bit over the top, so I screenshotted it and sent it to my wife, just to comment on it. In a brilliant move of complete and utter stupidity, decided to Google it. That's where I found out everything that I know about the game. But it seems that some software or tracker, maybe even Google, probably Google, has caught on that I am, at least in some way, interested in a gacha game. Presumably one with hot women on the cover. And that caused my ads to change completely. So, lo and behold, a day later I log in, all of a sudden this awaits me. Again, it's well-made AI art, but what's with the ads? Sci-fi game, interstellar, quantum, Amelia, robot girl. Oh, Nexus War. Nexus War. Like, maybe it's complete boomer advice, I don't know, but putting the title of your property somewhere up or center or somewhere visible where people will know what it is may be beneficial. Also, I googled Nexus War as well. From the 4 to 5 seconds of footage I saw, it seems like some shitty RTS game. And it's with this that YouTube has finally decided that sexualized AI-generated art of women is for me. Lo and behold, this thing. Now, being completely frank, I like the fact that the title, while still a bit too small for my liking, is at least somewhere up in the image. Precisely half the image is taken up by a stupidly thick furry... No, your eyes aren't fooling you, dear viewer. She does have the ears of a fox, the face of a anthropomorphized fox, the waist of Mrs. Incredible, and the hips of Mrs. Incredible at only half her height. Also, it's a shit gacha game. But in terms of ad quality, hey, the title is somewhere in the upper portion of the image. There is images of rewards you get for playing, which to someone uninitiated doesn't mean anything, but hey, it's a valid effort, we're moving up. Again, few days of peace pass, and we stumble upon a new one for Nexus War. I mean, I kinda like this, still would never play the game in my life, but you know, they move the title up, there's a nice contrast between the title and the background. The art is kind of sexually suggestive, but it's pretending not to be. Overall a nice ad. But still, the pattern of suggestive and attractive female in the ad continues. Mind you, I have never once clicked on any one of these ads and I never will. Next, we have Mafia, the game, which is a city builder game, basically in a vein similar to what would have been a popular Facebook game back when Facebook was still a thing with like probably also super monetized cooldowns. Not that I watched and not that I would ever play. And I know it's nothing explicit or anything, but come on dude, like if you're sitting in a bus and just scrolling through YouTube, you don't want people around you to just see a fat ass all over your screen. Though other than that, the ad is kinda quite nice. I mean, we have a large, albeit a bit covered title. The text still reads like a Chinese knockoff shirt text. Beauty's Mafia strategy, customized secretary in Mafia City, play Mafia City, be the boss. Text lacks any structure, but we're moving up. Like, I do consider it an improvement on what we had so far, in terms of at least presentation. Though I really dislike the completely lazy lack of any sort of background art. Other than that, almost fine. Still, you don't want people on like public transport to look over and see this on your phone. Next up we have this pretty rare one. I have only seen this like once or twice, because it might have been taken down due to copyright infringement, and I'm surmising it from the title alone, because I couldn't be arsed to actually look at it. This just seems like a even worse knockoff of Nikkei Goddess of Victory, and no, I won't be fact-checking it. I will just call it a shitty cash grab clone of a gacha. The worst thing, the ad is also just lazy. Like, okay, we have the title somewhere up, then there is some chick's eyes covered by a semi-opaque pink surface, which tells us absolutely nothing. The background is just some off-white. The name Rose and is written there. And yeah, once again, the title is Lisa, Goddess of Rage, and that's why I think that it is a knockoff of Nikkei Goddess of Victory. But yeah, this is just lazy, and I can see why it would have been removed. The AI art on the cover is nearly as good as the one we've had so far. But fear not, dear viewer, because Fantasy RPG Game Tempting Adventures Exciting Collections 18+ is coming back with another heavy hitter. I mean, this isn't something you want people to see while you are watching YouTube on the bus. The art is still fine, the title is covered by her ass. I mean, it isn't. The title of Fantasy RPG Game is covered by her ass, but the actual title is once again somewhere down in the corner where no one will actually see. And yeah, it's once again Everlegion, the average cash grab gacha that has nothing to do with the AI generated image in the front. Now, to jump in a quick interlude, this is something that I don't know if this was me or my wife who caught this one. First off, this image just causes some kind of uncanny discomfort in me, and even outside of that. And I do think that anyone who actually treats an AI companion as a person has already reached a level of degeneracy so extreme that furries and average perverts can only dream of. It's on the level of watching VTubers. But seriously though, if you use AI companions for anything other than to put on songs and check the weather, you are probably disappointing your family, and you desperately need any sort of help that doesn't come from AI. Sorry for the tirade, I almost forgot to actually grade the ad itself. It's shit. The image of the presumably dude, for some reason, just causes discomfort. The word insights it's just there, it does something. God knows what it does. I'm joking, it does absolutely fucking nothing for the ad. And yeah, the name of the product is first only shown in the link, and it's never stated that it's an AI companion. Even down in the flavor text it says,
"When you feel like you have no one to talk to, meet me, chat."
I don't like this wording, because someone who might actually need help should never talk to any AI, should talk to actual people, or go out into the park, touch trees, touch grass, touch gravel, and not touch anything that isn't a fucking computer screen that only entices you to spend money on its service. Please. Sorry for the time. Do you want pregnant elf chicks? Cause oh boy, Bloodline wants to give you pregnant elf chicks. Is her face all fucked? Yeah, kinda. In terms of AI art, her boobs look a bit lopsided. It's sure is whatever, because hey, pregnant elf chicks. I mean, the title is up in the corner. You have a new son. How is this supposed to entice anyone? Like,
oh shit, I have a new son, I must click the ad right now.
To whom is this catered? Who is the target demographic of this? Because like, I can understand being into elf chicks, I can understand being into pregnant women, that's fine, but who is the target demographic of this? Who is the person, the unlucky tumbleweed of a person who will read the line, "You have a new son," and click on the link? Again, this is a rare one, I haven't seen this in a while, so it probably didn't work and no one in their right mind actually clicked it. Yeah, that's all I have. It's like, Bloodline is where it feels like Fantasy RPG Game is catering to the most average weeb and degenerate. Bloodline seems to be catering to everyone else, everyone that falls off, everyone after a certain cutoff point. Now, where that cutoff point is, I wouldn't know, but we may get there, we may not, I don't know, depending on what kind of ads I still stumble upon. Next up, my personal favorite, Fantasy RPG Game Tempting Adventure and Exciting Collection Fantasy Game RPG. All of a sudden it lost the 18+ rating. Like, I assume because there never was any mature content in it, because the image on the cover does not reflect the game in any way. Again, it's a gacha game. It looks like every other gacha game and probably plays like one. Quote unquote plays, because calling that playing is already stretching the definition. Like taking a piss and trying to hit the silent corner of the toilet requires far more engagement than any gacha game in existence ever did. Still, it's still a shitty ad. I mean, the title is somewhere down in the corner, and the actual title of Fantasy RPG Game is covered by the girl's ass. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. The girl is now kind of supposed to be a tribal style orc, because it doesn't look like anything. There is no defining... Like, if you wanted to bring orcs closer to people who are like the most vanilla ever, this is what you'd give them. Like, there is no actual defining orc features from any fantasy universe that isn't anime. Like, there is no pronounced musculature, no tusks, no nothing. It's literally just the elf chick but slightly greener, while still having the pinkish red blush in her cheeks so that it wouldn't dissuade any potential customer that didn't already click on the elf chick. Yeah, I just don't like it. Everlegion really doesn't do anything for me. I will respect Bloodline more because they are at least wild in their advertisement. Another interlude. At that time, I didn't think I'd see this on YouTube. I don't know why. We have hot AI-generated GILFs in your area. Again, there's nothing. It's an ad as shit as it gets. There is not a single word on the image because you wouldn't want anyone who wants to date GILFs to not see the GILF. This is obviously just either a young woman photoshopped into the body of a GILF or something. I don't think this is a real person. Something about it just strikes me as way too odd. But I don't know, maybe just me, maybe just my jaded brain. But yeah, do you want GILFs? Cause we sure love GILFs. But yeah, GILFs. Like, what happened to hot women in your area? Like, why are we already on GILFs? I'm not that far gone. I don't even like GILFs. Like, I can respect me a good GILF hunter when I meet one, but how did the algorithm decide that GILFs is the way to go? I don't know, and no one ever will. It's fine. Anyway, bam, second GILF. Also, I didn't think that hot women in your area kind of advertisements are even still allowed on YouTube, but the more you know. Anyway, Bloodline. We have Bloodline again. Bloodline comes out, swinging again. Art looks nice, crisp, albeit super generic. I don't get the point of fox ears. I really don't. There is nothing about this character that makes it better or worse by having fox ears, and they are so obviously just tacked on. Like, they are literally not even in the same art style as the rest of the image. No, this one was in German. I don't know why. And why the title of the game is blurred, while the Bestes Android-Spiel 2023 is front and center. I think Bloodline lost the plot a bit here. It's too generic that all of a sudden almost wants to cater to the same crowd as Fantasy RPG Game. It feels like it kind of falls flat. Bloodline really kind of fails in the department of background, and especially since the foreground doesn't cover enough of it where a simple background actually works. But overall, I'd say this is an okay enough ad. No, the big one. The fucking big one, boys. Dragonair, Silent Gods. This too, pretty rare. I only stumbled upon this once, and this one I actually looked a bit into. The main reason why I looked into it because of the Dungeons and Dragons logo and title they use. No, don't get me wrong by any means. Dragonair, Silent Gods, or whatever it's called, is a shitty gacha game that has basically nothing to do with anything D&D related. From what I've seen, there is sort of a character... There are ways to spec your character, not the gacha characters you roll for and pay for and collect, but your commander type character to stat him out with D&D stats, but it's the only D&D resembling thing I've seen about the whole game. I've seen some footage, it's not like they actually use the names of Drizzt or other actual D&D properties. It honestly feels illegal. Like, I don't know if it is, maybe they somehow got the rights to use the D&D name, but there is nothing about this that in any way makes it D&D related. Like, looking back at Baldur's Gate, very D&D. There is, from locations to settings to characters, like everything about Baldur's Gate is D&D, and I know it's supposed to be D&D. And I would understand that someone wants to make a game in the setting with certain aspects of the property that you may not necessarily want everything to be completely D&D, like that you want to use some elements. But this has none of the elements. Not a single element of the actual Dungeons and Dragons game is in here. the classes or the gacha characters. None of them are D&D. They're all just generic gacha characters. And I don't know. I think this is the case for some legal department somewhere, because I don't see how this can be illegal, especially knowing that Larian actually had to work for the quote-unquote privilege of using, the D&D property. I don't think that whatever this is did that. Again, just another shitty gacha game. Also, the ad itself, I'd say it's mostly okay. The main characters are a bit small. Why is the panther there? Like, you could have at least slapped a tentacle on it to call it a after beast or whatever they're called. Why is it framed like that? The whole center, the bright blue part, should stretch from edge to edge, not the way it's now, because the ad is already relatively small, and it not being stretched condenses it even more, to the point where nothing except the small main character in the middle is basically visible. Overall, bad ad composition and a case for the legal team. Someone's legal team. We've had this I don't really want to talk about. This is just bad, and the title is what made me even want to click on it. Thrilling idle RPG game. Trials of Heroes idle RPG. The fuck do you mean idle RPG? Is it what is watching Lord of the Rings an idle RPG because you can just sit in your couch and drink brewskis while the RPG is happening on the screen? Like, again, maybe I just have a bad case of boomer brain and I don't get it, but I do think that I do get it, and I do think that this is just garbage. The fuck are even these numbers? This is the first time I'm actually looking at the thing. What does 10 million HP mean? Like, brother, if it's idle, it's not a game. Just calling it a game is... Again, maybe it's boomer brain. I don't think that calling something idle RPG game even makes sense. Seen quite a few ads. The good ones, the bad ones, mostly the bad ones, actually only the bad ones. There was not a single good one, and how could there be? Because something that does its best to be intrusive is by its nature bad. Still, we've seen everything that the ad world has to offer. We haven't clicked on anything because why would we? It's all gacha games. There is no point to ever playing a gacha game. And we thought we saw everything. But alas, I think I was wrong. No, I don't think. I know I was wrong. Fantasy RPG game. Tempting adventures inciting collection, 18+, Ever Legion. Still has one last ace up its sleeve. One last crescendo, one final swan song. Just like a sun bursting into a supernova at the end of its life cycle, almost to prove to the universe that even in death it can still shine more bright than in its first of days. Fantasy RPG game, Tempting Adventures Inciting Collections whips out this masterpiece. I don't know why I love it. I don't know why, but I just kinda love. Like, it can't just be me, right? Like, this is so over the top, goofy. Who is this for? Come on, like, is it for? This definitely isn't. Who is the target audience for this? Like, I love it from an artistic perspective. I actually really do it. I have to do something with this face and image sometime. Like, but who is the target audience for this? You can say I'm generalizing or whatever, I don't care. It's a fact. The only people who play gacha games are either for some reason Chinese whales, or men who desperately want to get laid, and sadly, and mainly because they play gacha games, they never will. Like, They even gave him the like slight blush that the elf and the orc girl had. I don't know why. It's like, again, I'll still never play this game, and you shouldn't either, because it's a waste of money and a waste of time, because it is a gacha game. You should play good games, better games, even games that are so bad they are good. Not this. And yeah, I don't know. I love him. He seems such a good boy. You know what, I guess I'll keep him. I guess I'll make him his own icon on the channel and give him some AI voice, so I at least have someone I can talk to. Wait. Okay, my wife just sent me this, and yeah, this is definitely going in. This is... I think I found... It's not my favorite, because it's... I mean... It says so much. Adult RPG game, fantasy adventure, bestiality RPG, adventure combat collection. Like, Like, why is the bear mutant blushing? I don't know about the legality of... but even in animated form, it just feels like something that shouldn't be advertised on YouTube. Why does the bear's face simultaneously blush and still look like a sexual predator? Also, why is this one's title Adult RPG Game Fantasy Adventure Bestiality RPG and it doesn't have an 18+ rating, while my best boy over here is just called Fantasy RPG Game Tending Adventures Exciting Collection. It has an 18+ rating. They are the same game. Like, the art style is different, everything is different, and they still fail to tell you what the game is about, and they still keep using the term RPG, which no gacha games aren't RPGs. Yeah, you can fight me on that all you want, but gacha isn't RPG, and it never can be due to the nature of gacha games and due to the nature of RPG games. They're diametrically opposed in every single way. Regardless, it's just... I don't know, it feels like we stepped into illegal territory again, and let's leave it at this. Anyway, have you seen videos like have you seen ads like this? Ads that are super suggestive to the point of being borderline illegal, and ads that are straight up most likely illegal. I don't know, let me know if you did, let me know if you didn't. Yep, hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, stick around if you like, you know, do the whole clicking buttons thing. Have a nice day, and hope to see you around. Bye.